The General Ledger Recurring Journal Entry feature is located underneath the General Ledger module, and it's called Enter General Ledger Recurring Transactions. We can use this screen to automatically generate journal entries that we would want to perform on a regular basis, let's say weekly, monthly, or whatnot. The first entry that we see on the screen is type. Type is used to define what type of a journal entry it is. For example, you may want to categorize it for cash disbursements, cash receipts, or even payroll for that matter, or any other category. These categories are available on the different reports within the General Ledger system. In particular, you can do a print journal distributions report. You can see where it says which ledgers right here. These are all correspond to that type on that previous screen, as well as in the regular journal entry screen. There are other reports which have that option as well. A good example of recurring journal entry would be for payroll. If you have a salaried person and you're not using the payroll module and you just want to do journal entries for it, you can go ahead and select the payroll type and then enter in all of your accounts and journals down here, and it would go ahead and generate them for you when you want them to. In our little example, we're not going to use payroll because that will require quite a few entries, which I don't want to do for the demonstration, and instead what we'll do is we'll just do a general journal, and we'll go ahead and accept today's date as the next posting date. But typically if your transaction is going to happen on the 1st of the month, you would put the 1st of the month. If it's going to happen on the 15th, you do the 15th of the month. If it's going to happen on every Friday, you would put the next Friday that it's going to happen. Code or reference, you can say what it's related to. In this case, what it's going to be related to is a weekly bank transfer, let's say from our savings, from our checking account to our savings account. So we're just going to say a funds transfer, okay? And we do tran for short, since it only allows us that many characters. Number of occurrences. If you see the drop-down box, we can indicate how often we want this to happen. Let's say if we wanted to do it monthly, we'll accept that. And how many remaining recurring entries you have, and it will actually decrease the remaining entries you have each time it generates it. So we'll go ahead and we'll just put in 52 for 1 year, and we are going to debit the account we want to take put the money into. So let's say we're going to put it into our investment account, and we'll make $400, and we'll take the money from the checking account and $400 as well. Once we're happy with this, we can go ahead and click the save button down here, and it saves it, and now it puts us on a new entry if we want to make a new entry. If we want to scroll back, we can click right there to scroll back, or we could also use the lookup box over here to look up the existing one that we had entered, and it's transaction number 1. Once we're happy with this, we can exit out of the screen, and note the next date up on top says 5/9, so we can exit out of the screen. And if we want to actually generate, it asked me to save my form because I did do a change before the demonstration, so I saved it. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and generate those recurring journal transactions by choosing the appropriate menu option right here. And asks to know what date we want to generate them through to. So we have 5/9 as our default. We'll go ahead and accept that. I'll hit enter. It says you want to post all recurring. I'll say yes. And it goes ahead. It looks to see how many are there. It's only going to find the one that we just entered. And now it's posting it to the General Ledger. And that has been complete. And if we want to see what it did, what we can do is we can just go ahead and run the journal entry report, print journal distributions, and we'll run it for today's date, and we'll just hit print. And we should see just the one entry that we just did, the recurring entry. Should show up for a debit and a credit between the two accounts. System's running a little bit slow because we're actually recording this at the same time. And there it is. Okay, and notice it puts it underneath a category General Journal right here. If there were other ones, they will be listed below it as well. Alright, fine. Now, the last point to make on this feature is that if we went back in and took a look at our recurring journal entry, we'll notice that the date, and let's go ahead and look it up via this lookup box here, because we're on a new one right now. The date changed from 5/9 to 6/9, and that's because we're on a monthly, so it incremented it once, and where it said 52, it now says 51. And that concludes the General Ledger recurring journal entry feature.